So look, tonight what we're going to do is we're going to talk about KVARATSKHELIA. Of course we are, because when Ornstein mentions it, you know, you take it semi-seriously. So we're going to be speaking about that. We're going to be asking, is there a pathway there for maybe a little swappy? Because Napoli are looking at Federico Chiesa as an alternative option should they lose KVARATSKHELIA to either Liverpool, PSG or somebody else. We're also going to be speaking tonight about Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott and lots of other interesting pieces. Oh, Joyce has said it. Whoa, oh, it's just gotten serious, ladies and gentlemen. Get out the hammer, break the glass. Paul Joyce has just tweeted, Liverpool are monitoring the situation of Napoli winger KVARATSKHELIA and may decide to act if the Georgia star looks to move this month. Oh, hello. Hello, sailor. Look, I can't help but smile on this one. I'm sorry, I can't. Look, I don't want to hear all the rational, reasonable, sensible arguments about having too many left wingers and all this other stuff. I don't want to hear it. What I want to hear is, that's brilliant, let's jump on board this and let's get on board HMS Pistol League, maybe with KVARATSKHELIA along the way. So we'll debate that tonight as well. I mean, it was surprising enough when I'd seen it from David Ornstein, and we'll go through and read out what David Ornstein had to say in it, but when you've got Joyce coming in as well, you know, stuff getting serious when Paul Joyce is stepping in with a comment. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the possibilities of where this may end up. Now, let me just say something off the bat, up front, early and honestly. This best not be a little tickling of the fans' nuts with other disappointment and us left with blue balls. That better not be happening. So if indeed we are looking to do something, then we best do it and not be just talking about it, monitoring it and all the usual stuff that we get lured into in a transfer window. So I do hope that there's something serious to this, but it still doesn't solve the midfielder conundrum for me, which is the big one. But look, it is an exciting thing. Liz said, I want the shiny new toy. Yeah, I'm kind of like that as well, Liz. I do love a shiny new toy. I do love something new. And, you know, I've spent all this time getting ready to be able to pronounce KVARATSKHELIA, Liz, and I don't want it to go to waste, you know. Very thankfully, my learning of pronunciation of Dominic Soboslai did not go to waste. So, you know, maybe KVARATSKHELIA could be the same. Benjamin Alfred said, feels like maybe Darwin might go, Craig. Thoughts? My thoughts. My thoughts are, what did I say 5-6 days ago? First one again, head above to say Darwin's available. I said it. You know, I know people don't always listen to me, and understandably, because, you know, I am just a fan. But I did tell you that information a few days ago. And I was surprised when I found it out, to be honest. I thought the summer would have been most likely. But yeah, he is available. And if an offer comes in, the phrase I heard was, bite their hand off. So let's wait and see. Kvara in, Núñez out, Diaz to striker full time. Right, so let's talk about this, right? So what we know is this. KVARATSKHELIA is apparently available, right? That's been put out there today by many sources. And KVARATSKHELIA is available for around 80 million euro, which is somewhere about 68, 70 million pound. PSG are working behind the scenes to sign KVARATSKHELIA, but will face competition, is one post. The next thing that came out said that if they do sell KVARATSKHELIA, Napoli want to sign one of either Jagrova or Chiesa. Now this is where I think it gets a little bit interesting. If Napoli have an intention to look to sign Federico Chiesa as a potential makeway or a replacement for KVARATSKHELIA, we should be all over trying to sign KVARATSKHELIA, in my humble opinion, because Darwin's going to be gone in the summer. And I understand that people will go, we're quite stacked on the left. I don't really have a defence to that, if I'm being honest with you. I think it's a very fair point. But I also would say that a lot of our forwards are able to play in various positions. So Diaz can play left, right, central. Gakpo can play left, central. Darwin can play left, central. And I think with KVARATSKHELIA, it would at least give us another option. And look, I'm somebody who said in the past, I'm not convinced by KVARATSKHELIA. But I'm more convinced by KVARATSKHELIA than I have been about Federico Chiesa, whom, let's be honest, for whatever reason, is not getting a sniff. Didn't get any minutes last night. None. Not 10, not 8, not 5, 0. In a game where we looked leggy towards the end of it. and we could have made a change and bring him on and brought Mo off and given Mo a bit of a breather. So all of these things combined make it feel like, if you take that onto account with the David Ornstein stuff, which I'm going to read out to you now, and the David Ornstein stuff was, no, not that one, Craig, the next David Ornstein one. Liverpool could consider a move to sign KVARATSKHELIA if he leaves Napoli in January. Liverpool not actively seeking a left winger, but admire the 23-year-old, alerted to the situation, and may become an opportunity. Now, I guess we do have one trump card up our sleeve on this, and that's Georgi Mamardashvili, who, and I'm sure, wouldn't mind his compatriot coming to join him at Liverpool, although KVARATSKHELIA may be there before him if he came in. So that kind of makes it interesting. And then when you've got the Paul Joyce thing, Paul Joyce coming out and saying Liverpool are monitoring the situation of Napoli winger KVARATSKHELIA and may decide to act if the Georgia star looks like he could leave this month. That's interesting. It's interesting. It's kind of come out of nowhere, but it's exciting stuff if there's truth to it. And that's the important part, because what we don't want is another distraction where fans get hyped up about something that ultimately plays out into nothing and another transfer window goes a-begging. So, it is exciting. I'm as excited as everybody else by the prospect of it, but it's trying to figure out how realistic it is. And I don't know yet. Right, Farron. Just seen Diaz has turned down an LFC contract extension as he has his sights set on Barcelona again, or is this just coming because of the KVARATSKHELIA stories? The honest answer is, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Diaz situation, or even if there is a situation. That's sincere, I don't know. It would, again, as you said, it would make some sense if you're seeing another left winger being linked and coming in. I could understand it. I can understand the perspective, but I just don't know. I don't know the answer to it. My only concern is if we sign Kvaradona, Mo is not going to renew his contract. Yeah, look, there was a part of me that thought exactly what you did there as well. That thought, is this the club maybe flexing their potential muscle in that regard? To say, well, look, we have options. Because, yeah, you're right, we still haven't got that conversation where Mohamed Salah signed up yet. Now, for what it's worth, I do think Mohamed Salah and Virgil stay, absolutely. I do think that gets resolved, but I can understand your point. I think it's a fair one. Craig, just seen a report that KVARATSKHELIA is 80 million, PSG willing to 4 times his salary. Yeah, but here's the thing, right? PSG are shit. And the French league is not where it's at. And let's be honest about it. Anybody who signs for Paris Saint-Germain does it for one of two reasons. They're a French player that wants to play for the current most prominent and best paying French club, or they're just a mercenary who wants to go for a payday. Because you're not going to win the Champions League. Nobody really gives a damn about winning the French league. Let's be honest about it. You go to Paris Saint-Germain for the wedge, for the money. Not to push on your career or to, cement a legacy. So if that's what interests people, and that's something that somebody wants to do, fair enough. But if it's Liverpool or Paris Saint-Germain as your two options, and you're interested in it from a footballing perspective, then you should be running to Liverpool. Andy said, how much meat is on the bones of these rumours? For me, it smells like agent talks as to shoe anything. For me, it sounds like a distraction for us as fans while everything else doesn't get done. If I'm being honest with you, Andy, that's my thought process on it, is I feel like it's a bit of a bluff from us to distract us as fans from feeling annoyed at what we perceive as not being enough being done.